Feel like you're asleep there, Jacqueline. You're like, productive. Looks like you've used your time wisely.
That's better.
I was on mute. Yeah, very productive. Doodles on chat yesterday, colouring today.
You're going to the top.
Yeah. I sat looking at the catalogue that arrived earlier today for, what's it called? Joe Brown's. And they've got loads of floral gear in. And I'm like, that'd be good for work, Arbonne. That'd be good for when I'm doing Arbonne. Oh, new shopping goals.
Wonderful. Okay, right, we're going to start. So your trainers for tonight is myself, Danny Wells, and we've also got Sammie. And I know Sammie is going to kick off with a recognition. Is that right?
I am. I'm just quickly opening the page on Limitless Ease, just making sure no one else has added any more in.
When you've done the recognition, Sammie, I'll do the announcement for 3 people in the team that have asked to be speakers for leadership.
Okay. All right. So are we recording?
Yeah.
Fab. So lots of recognition tonight. We have amazing Danni Wells DM bonus already. Let's give her a clap. Was that by the 5th, Danny, wasn't it?
Yeah.
5th of the month. That is absolutely incredible. Also, Danni Wells in the 500 PQV Club. Amazing. We've got new consultant Jane Halliday, sponsored by Danni Wells. We've got new consultant Kalina Dimitrova, sponsored by Danni Wells. New consultant Samantha Dimitriou, sponsored by Danni Wells. Those of you who were on the Jerry Rosenthal call the other night, he set an incentive for a lovely, cosy fireside chat with him. I had a couple of palpitations because he said we had to sponsor 42 new consultants. So actually, it's only 2. 2 new consultants this month, and you get an amazing fireside chat with the one and only Farmer Jerry, as he's now known. So that is absolutely incredible and totally achievable as well. So who is going to be on that? Pop it in the chat if you're going to be on there. What have we got? New independent consultant Becky Sheriff, sponsored by Sammy Banning. And that's all the recognition we've got. So well done to everybody there. Danny, over to you.
And then I wanted to take this part to say that as a team, as a whole team, so as a multi-nation, every year, once a year, we put on a leadership academy. So this is for everybody to come along to once a year. And as a team, we're the trainers on the stage and we get a keynote speaker in. So our leadership academy is in a couple of weeks, 7th of July. And I think the tickets are only like £20 or something. And we've got our keynote speaker is Victoria McHugh. So if you don't know Victoria McHugh, she's Australian and she's actually coming over to be our keynote speaker. She spoke on the main stage in Las Vegas at GTC, and literally everybody wants her at their events. But she's like, I'm fully booked. We're so lucky because we actually booked her in last year. So Victoria McHugh built to the top level in Arbonne in a couple of years. She actually moved over to Scotland and knew 0 people. But she moved with her husband's job, her partner, sorry, they're not married. She knew nobody. So she has built her Arbonne business in a country where she knew 0 people. So she's going to be our keynote main stage speaker, and it's going to be unbelievable. Now, 3 people from our team, well, 4 actually, from our team have actually been asked to be main stage trainers. So we've got area manager Sammie Houchin. What were your thoughts, Sammie?
Oh, just kind of, oh my goodness. So yeah, I'm really, really excited because I was thinking, how on earth do I get to be a speaker at one of these events? And yeah, it was absolutely amazing. I got the message from Kelly earlier and I was like, whoa, yeah, of course I will. Yeah, nervous, excited, but it's going to be really amazing.
And the next person was Zinzi Thompson. Woo! Let us know, Zinzi, how did you feel being asked to be a main stage speaker?
Oh my gosh. Well, when I read the message from Kelly, my heart was beating in my chest just reading it. I felt sick. But I'm so excited, so honoured to be asked.
Okay, the next person is soon to be this month area manager Emily. Woo! Emma's not on the call, so I'll speak on behalf of Emma. I'm so happy about this. I've been waiting a long time. I've been doing Arbonne for 5 years, and these like whippersnappers like Sammie and Zinzi, they come into business. They go to area in like 3 days. Then there's other people like me that have been doing it 5 years, and I'm going to be a main stage speaker, and I'm going to tell everybody how you do this business with 2 babies, with a full-time job working as a beauty spa therapist, with a husband that works away, and what else would she say? And just being manic. She'll be on the call in a bit. So when she gets on, we'll get her to actually do her real speech. And the 4th person in the team that's been asked to speak is me! Yay! I am going to be training on sponsoring. So very excited. And actually that leads in lovely to our training tonight. So myself and Sammie are actually your trainers tonight. Now, I hope you're not disappointed because it was supposed to be Megan. Now, Megan, unfortunately, has other commitments that she wasn't able to get out of. So she asked if anybody else would take her trainers. Like, Emma's on! Emma, how do you
Hello.
stage speaker?
I can't concentrate too much on you, go, because I'm driving. But I thought, right, I can still join you from the car.
Tell us
So,
how
yeah.
you feel to be asked to be a speaker.
Very honoured, but bricking it at the same time. But very exciting.
Please drive to
So all good. But I'm going to mute myself now, and I'm going to listen to you guys.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so you've got myself, Danni and Sammie, and we're going to train tonight on how to sponsor success-minded people. Now, we have put together a slideshow, and we really want participation in the chat. So if you're able to write in the chat, please do, because we really want people to engage with this. So let me just share my screen. Hang on. Okay, so let's begin. Has anybody here ever read or heard of the book Law of the Lid by John C. Maxwell? So just put it in the chat if you have, and if you've read it, any thoughts about it, anything you want to share about the Law of the Lid by John C. Maxwell. Now, this book, the concept of the Law of the Lid is basically, when you're trying to sponsor people into Arbonne, you're only going to be able to sponsor people that are at the same sort of like level that you are, or less. Now, the best way I can describe this is if you imagine a chef is, say, I'm trying to think how to define like how good a chef is. Let's say that they've had, say, 3 years of experience as being a chef. They'll be able to teach people how to be as good at cooking as what they are. They're never going to be able to teach somebody to be like a 5-star Michelin chef if they're not themselves. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Another analogy is if a Spanish teacher was trying to teach somebody Spanish, they're only going to be able to teach them as much Spanish as what they know. And if they only know intermediate Spanish, they're never going to be able to teach somebody to be an expert in Spanish. They're never going to be able to teach somebody to be better than where they are as a person. Or another analogy is a PT instructor. So let's say a PT instructor runs half marathons, right? They're really good at half marathons. They can teach you how to do a half marathon, even a quarter marathon, and they're excellent at doing anything lower than their own ability. But as soon as you go to them and say you want to run a full marathon, they're not going to be able to do that. They can only teach you to be at the same level that they are, or less than that. So in Arbonne, when somebody's, say, a district manager, so at level 1 in Arbonne, they're only going to be able to teach you how to be a district manager or less than that. They're not going to be able to teach you how to be an area manager or regional vice president until they've done it themselves. Okay. So the law of the lid is knowing where your lid is and understanding that you're only going to be able to coach and train and bring people into the business that are at the same sort of level that you are, or less than. I hope that comes across in not a rude way, because I don't mean that to be rude at all. I hope that chef analogy and the Spanish analogy is giving you a bit of an idea. So if you have ever sponsored anybody into Arbonne, then you will know that by sponsoring them into the business, you want people that actually want to be here. So doing Arbonne is a completely volunteer business. So no, you haven't got a boss, like you're not tied in. It's not like having a franchise where you've paid £60,000 to have an Arbonne franchise. and you have to stay until you've made that money back. Or in some franchises, you actually can't leave early. You have to find somebody to buy it, or you're tied into 5 years. Like Arbon's not like that. Like you don't have to stay until you've earned your money back, because at the end of the day, if you did leave your business, you've only lost £30. It's not the end of the world. You're not tied into anything. You don't have to sell it on. So you're here because you voluntarily want to be here. So we want to find other people that voluntarily want to be here, that they have fun, and they actually want to be a part of this. So how do we find people that actually want to be a part of this, and we're not just dragging them along to the trainings, buying them tickets to things so that they actually come along, and forcing them to do stuff? We want to find people that want to be here. So just going through my notes. Okay, so let me just share my screen. Sorry, the next slide. So what I would love you to do is write down the character traits of your perfect business builder in your team. So put this in the chat. What kind of character traits would you want if you were trying to think about the perfect person to sponsor, the perfect person to find? So tomorrow you your kid's swimming lesson and you end up sitting next to somebody that you think, oh my gosh, this person would be amazing within my Arbonne team. Or you go to a business networking event and you sit next to somebody and you think, gosh, this person would be amazing. Or you go to a PTA event, a committee event, and somebody sits next to you and you think, that'd be amazing. Or you just meet somebody at work, or whatever it is that you're doing tomorrow, you meet somebody brand new, and they have character traits that make you think, oh my gosh, I would love to work with them. So write down in the chat some of the character traits that would really appeal to you. So some things, so like happy, motivated, already has their own business, is sprightly, is energetic, is healthy, anything like that. So Chanel's put confident. Jacqueline's put positive attitude, likes to help others, not salesy, not pushy, happy to share recommendations, likes people. Zinzi's put positive, hardworking, happy, honest. Yeah, so some great ideas. And if you've got any more, Chanel's put open-minded. Laura's put charismatic, determined, wonderful. So what myself and Sammie have done is we've put together 6 to 6, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 5. Sorry, 5 character traits that we think embody everything that the perfect Arbonne consultant would be. And those character traits, the words actually spell out pride, which is really great, obviously, for this week as well, because it's Pride Week, isn't it? I'm sure I've seen that all over social media. So the first one, is it? Somebody putting it in the comments. Is it Pride Week? Oh, the chat's really slow to come up. Okay, so the first one is passion. Yeah, Sammie's put yes. So P is for passion. We have to find people with passion, and I don't just mean a passion for Arbonne, not like me, passion for the Arbonne toothpaste, passion for the Arbonne deodorant. I'm not just talking about passion for Arbonne products or the Arbonne business. I'm talking about passion for life, passion for living, a passion for wanting to actually do more. You can actually feel people's passion. You when you come across people and they're literally dripping in passion. So who comes to mind for you? So on this call right now, I know there's a few people on, pretty much everybody right here, but let's say I'm just going to pick on Chanel. Well, I'm not picking on her, so I can see Chanel in the on the video. So when I first met Chanel, she is somebody that drips with passion. She is a fantastic mum. She couldn't honestly give her little boy, well, he's not really little anymore, her son anymore. Like, she absolutely loves being a mum. She adores him. She'd do anything for him. She's also an incredible friend. Like, I've seen her with her group of friends and how much she loves upon them, and she would literally do anything for them. She'd drop everything. Like, she's just got so much passion for just being the person that she is. She's got a passion for doing Arbonne. She's got a passion for life. She's the sort of person that wakes up in the morning and she's just excited to actually be here. Chanel is an incredibly passionate person. So who can you think of that when you hear the character trait passion that just jumps to mind straight away, that's just dripping with absolute sheer passion? Now, the only thing with passion is you can't transfer it. You can't introduce somebody to Arbonne and give them passion. It kind of has to internally be inside people. When my sponsor, Emma, first spoke to me 5 years ago, I was not your typical, on paper, going to be good at Arbonne person. I had no money. I was in £40,000 of debt. I was on government benefits. I lived in hospital with my daughter who was very poorly. on paper, I'm sure if you saw my resume, if I had a resume writing out my life at the time, you would have thought to yourself, that person is never going to be successful at Arbonne. But I actually had an inner passion. So I don't know if you guys have got any stories like this, and if you have, share them in the chat. When I worked for Specsavers, sometimes we had to do filing, and I would go to the back on my own and I'd file the records away in alphabetical order, and we probably had like a couple of thousand files like in all these cabinets. And I used to think to myself, oh, I'm going to file these so good that people are going to come in tomorrow and they're going to be like, who did the filing? Danni did the filing. Oh man, she's so good at filing. Like, obviously that never happened. Of course, no one's going to go into work and be like, who did the filing? Yes, they've done a great job. Like, that's just ridiculous. But in my head, I genuinely thought that. I genuinely was so passionate about everything that I did, including the bloody filing. And I'm like it with cleaning. Like, I'm not obsessed with cleaning, but if I'm going to clean the bathroom, I'm going to clean the bathroom good. Like, I'm going to have the cleanest toilet you've ever seen. Like, I have so much internal passion that it just seeps out. So when Emma first thought about talking to me about the business, it certainly was not because she knew I had loads of free time, because I didn't. It certainly was not because I was good at using products, talking about products, running a business. Like, none of that was true. But she knew I had passion, and she knew that fire in my belly that I had was looking for a platform. That fire in my belly was looking to be transferred somewhere, because when I had kids, my gosh, I was going to be the best mum that I could ever be. And getting married to my husband, I was going to be the best wife that I could ever be. My bathroom is going to be the cleanest bathroom you've ever seen. But all of those things, yeah, they're great, but that's not going to make me a living. I was looking for something to make me a living that made me jump out of bed every morning excited. So Emma told me about Arbonne because she knew that could be the platform for where I could, put that passion, put that energy, and actually make something of myself. So that was why she talked about Arbonne. It was because of that burning inner passion that I had. So what I would love you to do, please, is to write down on a scale of 1 to 10 where you are for passion. And do you know what? It doesn't even matter if you're 1. That really, really doesn't matter. The purpose of mine and Sammie's training is we're going to talk to you about how to move that along. So just be honest with yourself. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 with passion? Like, if you were filing, would you be a 10 like me, or would you be like a 1 thinking, oh my gosh, I don't even care where they go? Like, what's your passion? Pop it in the chat where you are on a scale of 1 to 10, and we're going to come back to that in a moment. So over to Sammie.
Okay. So the R is for resolve. So if you have a lot of resolve, then you're really, really determined. I think we all need to be quite determined in this business, because we get knocked down quite a bit. We get no's. But if you've got resolve, it doesn't matter how many times you get knocked down, you will get back up again. You can get knocked down 10 times, you get up 11 times. Somebody that resonated with me was Ashley Strong in GTC. Those of you that haven't heard Ashley Strong, she's in the US Army, and she's built her business around her full-time military career. And she's aiming for thousands and thousands of no's, because she thinks, you know what, it doesn't matter how many times people say no to me. I know I can do this. I've got the resolve to just get back up, and it doesn't matter how many times people say no, I just get on with it. And I think that's the problem. Sometimes if you haven't got the resolve and people say no to you, if you haven't got that resolve, you go, oh, well, that's it, I'll give up. But that's the important thing, is not to give up. No, we think of as next opportunity. Okay, don't think of it as fail, think of it as first attempt in learning. So if you have the resolve, you can build yourself back up again. Don't have the fear of rejection. How many times have you organised an online party and it's cancelled? How many times have you organised a one-to-one and it's been cancelled? I've had the same. I've had online parties organised. I've had people say, yep, I'll host a party for you. I've got 10 people in the group. Well, 10's all right, brilliant. Not one single person watched it. If I didn't have resolve, I'd have gone, oh, well, that's it. There's no point doing that again. But no, I didn't. I just used the post and did a party the next week. That's the most important thing. People are going to cancel. People are going to leave your team. The most important thing is just to keep going and have that resolve. Don't quit on the first no. Don't give up on that first no. Just think of it as, okay, I've learned from that. What could I have done better next time? Have the resolve and keep going. So how do you tell if someone's got resolve? The best thing to do is listen to their why. because you can pick up from their why so much about their resolve. If they're really, really negative and saying, oh, this has happened and that's happened, and oh, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to get out of it, you can't put the resolve there for them. You can't give them that skill and that quality. If you listen to their why and they're resolve minded, they'll say, well, this has happened, but actually it's made me a better person. It's made me understand things about myself, things about business. It's made me understand, what sort of person I need to be to really build a business. It's character building. I think of Danni with resolve, to be honest. Danni, when I was writing this, I was thinking of you, because Danni's been through so much. If you listen to Danni's story, she's been through so much, but she didn't let it knock her down. She just thought, hang on a minute, what can I do to get out of this situation? What can I do to help my family? She didn't give up. It would have been easy to give up, but she didn't. So I think we need to all be something like that. It can be exhausting if you've got somebody that doesn't have resolve. You're trying to sort them out. You're trying to give them that resolve. It's the victim analogy. Oh, poor me, poor me. You've just got to think, no, come on, you're okay. When the going gets tough, the tough get going. And that's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. There are going to be times when you fail. You are going to question, why am I doing this? But the important thing is how you bring yourself out of that. So thinking about resolve and becoming resolve minded are very different. You need to be resolve minded rather than thinking about it. So you need to put it into action. So the next task we've got for you is to write down how you think, how much resolve you think you have. Do you have 0 resolve? Do you give up at the first hurdle? Or are you a 10? No, I'm not going to be a victim to outside factors. I am a strong person. I'm just going to pick myself up. So give yourself a number between 1 and 10.
Wonderful. Okay, so the I in pride is integrity. So integrity, it can't be bought. So many people don't have integrity. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, growing my business, I really don't want people that are within my team that don't have integrity. I really don't want people that are so close to hitting a goal or an incentive or a promotion that they couldn't care less about who buys what, and they're just selling anything to anybody and they're just not bothered. Like, it's not about that. Like, yes, I know people want to hit goals and promotions and incentives, but do it correctly. Ask enough people if they're looking for something and give them an actual solution rather than just trying to make people buy any old thing. And I'll give you an example of this. So a few years ago, I was trying to go for a goal. I can't even remember what it was, an incentive. And I rang one of my friends up who is a customer, and she's a great customer. And I said to her, Jackie, I'm about to hit this goal and I'm so much away, whatever it was in volume. And I said, if you buy the greens balance, which at the time, I think it had really high QV, or it might have been on offer. I said, if you buy 4 tubs of green balance, I've done it. And she was like, she's a friend. So of course she was going to say yes. I don't ask for much from my friend. So yeah, she said, yeah, okay. So she bought these products and I hit whatever the achievement was. And a couple of months later, I went to her house and I saw 4 tubs of green balance in the kitchen, or in the kitchen cupboard, I think. I said, Jackie, you're not using this green balance? She goes, oh no, I hate it. And I said, what? She said, I can't stand it. I said, well, why did you buy it? She goes, well, because you said if I bought 4, you'd have hit your goal. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I said, oh, Jackie, I said, you could have bought something else. And she went, oh, I didn't know that. You just said if I bought this 4 tubs of green balance, you've done it. So I bought it. And I felt awful, and it was I actually refunded her. I think I managed to sell some of it to other people, and it was a lesson, because I thought what I should have done is given her the opportunity to know that yes, I was about to hit a goal, and if she had placed an order, it would have helped me. Just said, if you buy this is what I'm going to achieve. That's not having integrity, and I still to this day feel really uncomfortable about that, but it was a lesson learned. So we don't want people to be misleading. We don't want people to exaggerate, and we don't just want to get people. Oh my gosh, I hate the word get. When people say to me, Danni, how do you get so many people? I say, I don't get anybody. I tell people about Arbonne, whether that's the products or the business or both, and they tell me if they want to get involved with the products or the business, or if they are not interested, and that's fine. I just speak to a lot of people and let them kind of like guide me with what it is that they're looking for. So something about integrity that we all need to bear in mind is having conversations with people so that we're not stepping on other people's toes. So when I speak to somebody, so let's say that let's say that Tiffany came to me and she said, Danni, I'm really interested in Arbonne. This is what I would say to Tiffany. Oh, great. First of all, Tiffany, can I ask, how do you know about Arbonne? And she might say something like, oh, well, one of my friends told me about it. So I'll go, okay, right. So what I want to work out now is the friend that she's talking about still doing Arbonne, or are they not doing Arbonne? So I would say to her, oh, who's your friend? And can I ask, are they still doing Arbonne? I only ask because in Arbonne we have like a bit of an unwritten rule where we don't step on each other's toes. So if that friend is still running their business, I would encourage you to go back to them and speak to them. Now, Tiffany might say something like this, oh, I'm not friends with them anymore, like we fell out, it was my ex-husband's partner, or something like that. And then, of course, absolutely speak to them about Arbonne. Or Tiffany might say something like, do you know, I just went to a stall and I saw an Arbonne fete, and I gave the person my details, but they never followed up with me. Okay, fine, speak to them about Arbonne. Or she might say something like, yeah, it's my friend, my best friend. Then I'm going to say, do you know what? If they're still running their business, you need to go and speak to them about Arbonne. So having integrity is about sending people back when that consultant is still active and they've still got a relationship. So it's finding out what they know. It's asking questions. So I have these questions all the time when people say to me, can you tell me about Arbonne, or can you tell me about that product? I'll say, oh, are you linked to another consultant? Can I ask? Having these conversations with people. So that is about having integrity. When you sponsor somebody into the business, they are taking the credibility that you have built along with them. Because if they do something wrong, then they tell people that you're their sponsor, that like lowers your credibility. So we need to sponsor people with strong integrity and that aren't just going to like mislead people for the sake of it. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your credibility? If somebody messages you tomorrow randomly on Instagram and says, I want to do Arbonne, can you tell me a bit more about it? Are you just going to go, yeah, here's my website, sign up? Or are you going to message them back and say, can I ask you a couple of questions? Like, how do you know about Arbonne, first of all? And are you going to have that conversation? And if it turns out that they do know an active Arbonne consultant that has followed up with them, do you send them back or do you sponsor them? Because I will say this, if you sponsor them knowing that they have had the Arbonne story from somebody else and that other person is still active and that other person has done their job correctly and followed up and you sponsor them, you're going to turn up to an event, a DA or AAC with your new consultant, and you're going to see that other consultant and you're going to feel so much shame and guilt, it's not even going to be worth it. So you might as well just do the right thing. And yes, you might have lost somebody that you could have sponsored, but you're going to hold your head high with pride and go to those events and just feel so comfortable and not icky and uncomfortable because you're like, oh my gosh, I cheated on them. That's how it will feel. So 1 to 10, what is your level of integrity? Pop it in the chat.
Okay, so the next letter is D, which stands for drive and desire. Every single one of you on this call has a desire to do well in your business. Everyone on this call has drive. That's why you're on the call in the first place. That's why we go to the events. That's why we're going to AAC. That's why we're going to the Leadership Academy. We have the desire to succeed. Again, it's one of those traits you can't give people. You can't teach them how to do it. It's either inbuilt with them or they have to develop it themselves. Which is why in Arbonne we read a lot of personal development books. We encourage that all the time. It's 10 pages of a book, a chapter of a book, whatever you need to do a night. I tend to read a little bit more one night, maybe less the next night. But my personal development is so important to success. Like I said, you can't give that to people. They've either got it or they haven't. What you can teach them is how to develop it through the books and things like that. So if it's not already there, like I said, you can't teach it. And what you need to make sure is that their problems are not outweighing their wants and desires. So listen to their problems, listen to their wants and desires. It should be a balance where the desires, are stronger than the problems. So they should weigh more. The problems weigh you down. We don't want the problems to weigh them down. We want a drive and desire. We want them to push them forward. If they haven't got them, they're going to be the ones that are sitting watching you succeed. They're going to be the ones that say they want to do the business and they say they want to be really, really successful, but actually they're just sitting in the background, or they might disappear altogether. Some people you might see, they post and all of a sudden they stop posting. So their desire and their drive has probably dipped. could be because their personal development has dipped slightly, they're not reading enough, or it wasn't in them in the first place, they don't know how to develop it. So we can encourage, we can inspire, and we can motivate them. The best way to do that, if you've got a consultant in your business that you can tell, you know, they want to get there, get the best out of them. Okay, make sure they're reading as much as they possibly can. Recommend books that you've read. If you haven't read that many, ask somebody, ask your upline, ask your sponsor, is there any books I can recommend? So, you know, think about how much drive and determination you've got. So if you haven't got any, nobody should have any. Nobody should be putting a 0 down, because like I said, you're all on this call, so you all want to succeed. Think about where you are on a scale of 1 to 10. Think about as well, what if your sponsor or your upline left? What if they left the business? Your sponsor goes, your sponsor decides they're not doing it anymore, your upline, your whole upline, your team goes. What would you do? Okay, is your drive and determination still there? Do you still want that success? You know, do you still want to build? Do you still want to achieve? Have you still got your drive and desire? So think about that. If nobody else was in the business with you, how strong is your drive and desire to succeed? Just pop that in the chat. Are you a 10? Are you a 0? I'm hoping everyone's going to be on that top level, not really down at the bottom, because like I said, you're on the call.
Okay, E. Can you guess what E is? Excitement! Okay, in my opinion, this is the most important trait, because, as I say, Arbonne is a volunteer business. So I would love to work with people that are excited to be on the team calls, that are excited to be on the team WhatsApp, that are excited to be at a DA. You know, if anyone here has ever been to a DA, how great is it when you see someone come into the DA and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I can't wait. And you're just like, me too. Versus somebody that comes into a DA and they're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to be here, I feel like I have to show up. Like, it's so different in energy, isn't it? And you soak up people's energy. So Arbonne is a fun business. Yes, it's a business. Yes, we sell products to our clients and we look after our clients in the hope that they become regular ordering clients. Yes, we sponsor people and we build a team and we launch people. And yes, it's work. And doing the tracker sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes it's hard work. But it's only 1 hour a day of hard work, rolling our sleeves up and getting to work on finding new people to speak to and presenting the business to people and adding them into the Hello Future page. Yes, that is a little bit of work. But let's face it, and I was talking to Laura Leggett at the swimming bath today. So our daughters have swimming lessons together. And Laura was talking to me about Arbonne, and I said, you know what? When you think about how hard Arbonne is, it's not really compared to other businesses. So I was explaining to her that my husband's business, he's a tiler, self-employed, he tiles kitchens and bathrooms. Now, in his defense, he doesn't have to do his job. He can actually be a stay-at-home dad because we can live on my Arbonne income, but he doesn't want to. He wants to do this. So I'm not putting him down because it's his choice to do this. I'm just explaining this so that you understand. So as a tiler, if he was to work every day of the week, 6 a.m. till 6 p.m., he would be capped on how much he could earn for the month. The most that he could earn would be £2,500 a month. And that's working every hour that he's able to earn. He can never, ever, ever exceed that because he's only got one pair of hands. And he can't do any more than that. He can't do 2 bathrooms at once. He can only do 1 at a time. He can only put 1 tile down at a time. So he's capped on how much he can earn. He also has to quote 5 people before he books 1 job. So when he's at home, his phone will ring and he has to go and drive to other people's houses to look at their kitchen or bathroom, give them a quote. That takes up an hour maybe. And then for every 5 people that he does that for, only 1 of them books him for a job. So it's like sponsoring 5 people and only 1 of them actually takes off. So the hard parts of Arbonne, when you actually put it into perspective versus the hard parts of a typical job, are really not that hard. So this is a fun business. Like, and we're supposed to be, what does that say? Be a Fruit Loop in a world full of Cheerios. That is how it's supposed to be. Arbonne is a company that is set on innovation, like Apple. Apple is an innovative company. So they launch the new iPhone and then they get to work on making the next better iPhone. Arbonne do the same. They launch a product range. The next day they go into work and they start thinking of what's better. So when you're at the conferences and you see that the sun cream, for example, has changed, are you the person that complains that it's changed? Or are you the person like me that goes, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. They've been working on this for 4 years and they've made it better. I'm so excited. This is brilliant. I can't wait to use it. Like, people that join the business that are excited about the innovation and the creativity and the changes, people that are excited that the strawberry fizz sticks sold out in half an hour. Like, I want to be around people like that. I don't want to be around people that are like, the strawberry fizz sticks have sold out in half an hour. I don't want to do it. I quit. I'm done. I can't work for a company that sells out in half an hour. Like, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I'm so lucky I work for a company that sells out of these incredible products in half an hour. So what is your level of excitement? The other thing I want to mention as well is, if you think of a national vice president, their maintenance, their business needs to turn over 160,000 QV. Okay, just puts into perspective, when you're a district manager and you only need to do 2,500 a month, a national vice president has to do 160,000 QV. There are some national vice presidents that are complaining because their business only did 150,000 QV last month and they only earned £10,000. Oh, poor you. Like, let's put this into perspective, right? Who on here would give anything to have a business that turns over 150,000 QV a month and you earn £10,000 a month? Like, come on, let's be real. But put this into perspective. If you're a district manager and you're not hitting 2,500, have you ever complained that you've only hit 1,000? I've only hit 1,000 this month. I've only hit 1,000 and I've only got paid £500. Like, somebody that's a consultant only earning £20 a month would give anything to be in your position. So let's put this into perspective. People would give their right arm to have the business that you have. There are people in countries right now that would give anything to have a business like this, where they're given the platform and opportunity to create something for themselves. People don't have Arbonne in their country, but would give anything for it. So where is your level of excitement on a scale of 1 to 10? Right, over to Sammy.
Okay, so I think hopefully everyone has got something out of the training we've done tonight. So out of 50, just pop in the chat. So you've been doing all these little tasks throughout the P, the R, the I, and on all of the letters, the 5 tasks. Where are you out of 50? And then does it give you an idea of what you need to be working on? So just pop in the chat where you are. And also, what I'm going to give you something to think about as well while we're doing this is something that I've learned through just various Facebook groups and things like that, thinking about who I would actually want to sponsor. And I want to sponsor somebody like me, somebody who has got all of these 5 qualities, somebody with a lot of drive, somebody with passion, integrity. So I want somebody like me. So at the start of the training, Danni asked you to think about the character traits that you'd want. So what I'm going to do, just for fun, you don't have to put this in there, but just think about who you would actually like to sponsor. So would you want to sponsor somebody exactly like you? So for me, that would be a mum, that would be a teacher, or somebody who works in education, somebody very like me, because I feel I'd be able to resonate with them on a personal level as well as a professional level, and I'd be able to coach them a lot better, rather than going and seeing somebody random on the street who I don't know. So it just shows, if you don't know that person first, make the friendship, get the connection, think about where you can connect with that person. What do you have in common with them? It could be that you're in the first decade, that you're in the same decade as them. So I would want somebody in my 40s now. So somebody who's got children would be good for me. Even somebody maybe who hasn't got children but wants children, because it's still the children connection. They might work in school. So think about who you would want to sponsor, and it would need to be somebody. I was always told, sponsor somebody, find somebody like you. Find another you. Okay? So you are the first person really that you need to look at when you're going to sponsor. Okay, so think about who you want to do. So just take a few minutes at some point. You don't have to do it this evening, because I know we've got the next call in a few minutes. Just think about at some point that ideal, like that blueprint of that person. Okay, who you would actually want to sponsor. All right, so I'm hoping everyone has learned loads and loads and loads tonight, and I hope you've got loads out of this. I'm very conscious that my children have been listening at the door. So a little bit more nerve-wracking when you've got an 11-year-old and a 10-year-old with their ears to the door. I can hear them. I was trying to wave them away at the start. But if you've got any questions, how long have we got, Danni, before we have to finish?
I think we've just got a few minutes, I think.
Got a couple of minutes. If anyone's got any questions, you can unmute and ask a question or pop it in the chat if you're a little bit shy. Hopefully nobody's shy around us by now. But yeah, if you want to unmute and ask any questions, then ask away.
This is a picture here of all the VPs in our barn. So when you look at this, you look at all these people and you think, oh, well, they're all the Mercedes drivers. They're all the people earning like £7,000, £8,000 a month. And you wouldn't be wrong. But actually what I see when I see this picture is a load of people that have had so many cancellations, so many people quit their team. They've had to sponsor probably about 100 people each to get here. They've got passion, they've got excitement, they've got integrity, they send people back. So when I look at a vice president, I know that they embody the qualities that me and Sammie have just talked through, the pride qualities. Did anyone have any questions that they wanted to ask? Or we can just dance all night. I need to get my big speaker in for the music. Did anyone want to add anything about those character traits? Where's my buddy Chanel? I'm sure she must want to say something because she's out. No.
She's hiding.
Emma, did you want to say something about your talk now that you're not driving?
Do you know what the first thing went through my head was? What am I going to wear? And then the rest of it started dawning on me. What am I going to say?
I'm just panicking. I've only got 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my goodness.
I know that's all I've got as well. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I'll be all right once I get up there. I'll start rattling up. And then I'm thinking, I've got 5 minutes.
I know.
And funny, Kelly actually said to me, you've got 5 minutes, so work on your timings. And I was like,
My first message said 10 minutes, and then she went, oh no, I meant 5. I was like, oh no. I'm panicking at 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Emma,
So,
what are you going to say?
I don't know. I think I'll have to talk a fair bit about the length of time that I've been working the business and the fact that I've been district for 3 years. And although it only took me a year to get to district, it took me. I was there for 3 years.
Go noodle, mummy.
What?
Relaxation, go noodle.
Relaxation, go noodle. Go on then. Relaxation, go noodle.
You
The
guys.
fact that it is possible to build this business around crazy children.
Yeah.
It'd be good to hear what you do this month, and obviously what Sammie did and what Zinzi did, complete an area, like the level of activity, because I think people underestimate the amount of activity you have to do to complete area manager. It is seriously intense. That's why the rewards are so big, because it's hard work. And I think getting that across to people, that you don't just put a couple of posts on social media and then suddenly you've got 10,000 people. Like, you really have to roll your sleeves up and work. So level of work.
And you've got to start thinking outside the box. And you've got to start thinking as an area and not as a district. And stop thinking about 2,500 and just start thinking about 10,000. And getting over the fact that, stop freaking out that you've got to think about 10,000, just crack on with it.
Emma said to me, I feel a bit uncomfortable. And I said, good, you need to feel quadruple the amount of uncomfortable, because you're trying to quadruple your business. So quadruple the activity, quadruple the projection, quadruple the discomfort.
Yep, definitely. And I've certainly had the quadruple the moments as well.
Well, you can have quadruple the wine when it's all done.
Yeah, we see that. It's kind of a double-edged sword in 30 days on the monthly completing, because it's like I need to do it because I need the energy levels and I need the focus and I need all of that, but I need the alcohol.
Right, I'm going to end this call before it hits 9 o'clock. But I'll speak to you all in the WhatsApp and see you all on the 9 o'clock call. Thank you, Sammie, for being
Thank you.
for all your
Thanks,
public.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Sammie.